Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
Magic 89.9. It's a brand new year, 2021. And if you're listening, you made it. Yay. My name is Zoe from Afternoon Tea, and I've got with me a fantastic artist for my first interview of the year. Not only is he platinum certified by the Recording Industry Association of America, he's also dubbed as one of the breakout stars for 2020, a feat in itself. The singer behind If We Never Met, I give you John K. How are you doing today?
Hey, Zoe. I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic now that we're talking. Where are you based right now?
I'm in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, I
So
see. And you look quite cozy there with your neon signage. I am very envious. I wish I had my name in bright lights as well. All right. So you've had quite the traction last year. So if you had to encapsulate 2020 really quick in one word for the John K. project, what would that be?
Diligence.
Diligence. I like that. I relate to it.
Yeah, a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. All right. So before we start the interview, as I mentioned, we like to start with flair. So are you ready for a game of sugar or spice?
Sugar or spice? Hit me. Let's go.
All right, John K. for sugar or spice 899. Number one, baking.
Sugar.
Sugar. Okay. Number two, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, parasailing.
Sugar.
Sugar. Have you tried it?
I have.
Ooh.
It's fun.
Okay. Yeah, we have a lot of that in the Philippines. So if you ever come over here, you know what
I'm
to
in.
do. I'm gonna wait for that Instagram post of you in the air with a parachute behind you.
Yeah,
Okay.
singing. La, da, 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 da. Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
exactly. So number three, the famous question: pineapples on pizza.
Spice.
Spice. Ah, I love it, but that's okay. I still love you anyway.
No, I could see my wife over here going, sugar for me, sugar for me. So
We are on the same
It's not-
page. We are on the same page. We can totally be best friends, except for you, John. You know, you're not in our group. Okay, number four, skinny jeans.
sugar.
Hey, nice. And the last one, number five, scary movies.
Sugar. Let's go.
Yay.
And
Nice.
there's a line though. I don't like too gory or demonic, but I like thrilling and scary, if that makes sense.
Okay, we're on the same page. I can't stand it when it gets too gory. I'm quite queasy myself, but it's nice to know that you can handle your own, so you can hold your wife if ever she gets too scared. That's always a nice thing. So, all right, thank you for playing Sugar or Spice with us, the first one for the year. And now let's get down to business. And I actually really wanted to ask you, why the moniker John K? Where does the K come from?
K is the first letter of my last name, and we actually, and when I say we, I refer to me and the squad and the team. We sat in and played the name game internally for a while, and
Really?
we were trying to find, like, are we gonna go and try to do like the weekend kind of thing, or and that just didn't feel right to the music we were making at the time, and there was like the team would be like, John, like it's you, like it's you, so it just has to be John. Why don't we just simplify it and just say John K? And it felt strong, and it felt like, let's just run with this for a while, and if we want to change it before anything happens, we can change it, and it stuck.
All right. And it is most of all catchy, really, John K. So it's a great move. And your latest album is called Love and Everything Else. I love it. I've listened to it so many times. And a lot of artists actually struggled last year with inspiration, seeing as how they had to cut their experiences in half and stay at home. And the whole world relates to that. So how did you manage to put together and release a really good album in 2020?
Well, first and foremost, thank you. I really appreciate the fact that you've listened to it at all. So
Give yourself more credit.
Oh, I love it. So it did a lot of traveling and songwriting in 2019, going into January and February, and everything shut down over here in March. So the shutdown led to the album, because we had to stop songwriting and traveling and always trying to find the next big song and keep writing to beat the other songs, and we started listening. So instead of writing, we started listening, and I was sitting in this exact studio just playing through all these ideas, and I called my manager and I was like, I think we have something. And then everybody came over and we were just listening to all the music that we had written in the past year, and we found, our favorite dozen that kind of stood out, and we committed to finishing those. And we spent the next couple months doing anything and everything we could from, inside the situation to finish the songs that we had fallen in love with. And before we knew it, we had a project that we really, really loved. So I don't know that without all this craziness that this project would exist.
There are a lot of people actually who relate to that. If they haven't been like staying at home or cooped up at home, even I myself relate to it. Would we have achieved, the things that we've achieved in 2020? And I think that that's a great story. So what would you say is the most memorable thing that happened when you were putting the album together?
Ooh. I mean, there's a lot of days. I think the song, okay, so the song Days Like This
Yeah.
was the only song on the album that was born inside of quarantine. So that was like the first successful Zoom write that we had. And I remember
Yeah.
getting on with some friends, kind of just like this, and trying to break through that barrier of sometimes you have the stutter, it's hard to create at the same time, especially when it comes to like building music and starting to vibe.
Yeah.
And Days Like This, I just remember breaking through and just having this really, really fun creative time, almost like we weren't on Zoom, almost like we were in the same room together, and we were like actually connecting, talking about horn sections that we could hear, and just like getting all excited, being like, "Ooh, that pre-chorus, the way it," and I just remember that session being like, "This might be possible."
Yeah.
And we had a great producer in the room that day, and he was able to take it all the way home and bring all the horn sections to life. He outsourced, he hit up these amazing horn players, and before you know it, he sent me one back, a version that I was just like blown away that we created it all in quarantine.
Mm-hmm. Nice. That's great. And your hit single, If We Never Met, stuns us once again with a new version, and it's joined by Kelsey Ballerini, transforming it into this beautiful duet that you can't help but sing along to. And I remember when Love tweeted, I do remember this, that it was his new favorite song, and I was so happy for you because I was already a fan. So seeing how the single catapulted to where it is today, how does it feel to receive this recognition left and right for something that you made?
I I learned that it's okay to be vulnerable in that song, and that
Ooh.
song is nothing more than my actual story. And I was actually talking to Steph Jones today,
Mm-hmm.
on the phone, and that's who I wrote the song with, and that was the first day that we had met, and I was kind of just telling her how I met everybody and how the team came together, and she's like, "So if, like, if you never met all these people," and I was like, "That's cool, like, if we never met." And the song kinda wrote itself. So to see now people connect to it on a level I never thought, because it was the first time I truly opened up and just told my story
Yeah.
um, to see Love like post about it and say that that's his favorite song right now and put it on his playlist, and see, somebody that I look up to and just love the music that he makes. It lets you know that, that you're seen, and it also lets you know that they're just grinding and making music the same way we are. So it's inspiring to just
Exactly.
push and to continue to go and try to fight for those great concepts, because you never know what one might turn into.
Yeah. And speaking of vulnerable, talk to me about happiness, whether it's the single or the coveted state of being. What inspired you to write that song?
Um, so we, at one point, this is like 2 years ago, because that song took so long to finish, but
Mm-hmm.
we were doing this thing, me and a group of friends of mine would do, it was called the Song Game. So every Sunday we would have to submit an idea, and somebody would pick like a category like clouds, and then you would have to submit, even if it was just a voice note of you saying like whatever, or you did a fully produced like idea that you actually got into and sent. Um, one week the topic was happy, and we had this idea come in from one of our really close friends and a guy that we write with all the time. Jesse Fink sent this idea in that had just the very beginning glimpse of happiness, and it was just like a little bit of the chorus, and we were like, "This is dope. We should like actually really write this like right now." And I remember we jumped on together and we like wrote the whole song and like kind of started to work on it there. And then it just felt so raw, and so it felt so much different than what it was saying. And the fact that it was an upbeat song talking to happiness like it's your friend that you haven't seen
Yeah.
in a while. Like what the way it personified happiness and made it something that like was attainable, and doing it in a happy way and having it be such a sad message was just something that I really, really was drawn to as an idea. And it was kind of difficult, but worth it to bring that to life and to finish that
Hmm.
song because we wanted to keep the high energy with the sad message
Yeah.
and to pull that off in the most effective way we could. And there was a lot of versions of that song.
Well, I like the final version. I also liked the stripped down version of that song, the one on YouTube where you're on a piano and the sun's beaming on your face. And I honestly felt like, that video was you allowing your fans to step into this vulnerable place with you,
Mm,
as you open yourself up because it's a more introspective song and I do love it. Although it's acoustic, it's still pop. So going into the
mm.
game that is the music industry, did you always lean towards pop or have you ever experimented with other genres?
So growing up, I always loved soul music. And I think that
Oh,
that kind of has dictated a little bit of how I sing the way that I sing or why I sing the way that I sing.
uh-huh.
Um, but early on when we talked with just kind of the team that we were building about the approach we wanted to take, it was always gonna be pop. And I realized at one point that I don't have to try to prove that I'm a great singer. Like, there's
Right.
soul and it's gonna just kinda come out the way that it's gonna come out, and we just needed to focus on writing great songs. Because at the end of the day, what is pop music other than just great songs? It's more
Exactly.
broad than ever now. It basically has every genre in it, and it just has to
Yeah.
be excellent. So, we've committed to timelessness and excellence and just always trying to we're great A&Rs. We listen to music like music executives do, and
Mhm.
we really critique ourselves on the highest level. So once it passes through every set of ears inside this team, like, we really feel like it's ready.
All right. And so you're in a room right now, and I'm in a room, and your voice is known to capture the essence of an eternal summer, which is exactly the weather here in Manila 24/7. And you've got tons of fans, looking for something new to write alongside with. So if you had a message to someone in the room who told themselves this is the year that they're going to pursue music, what
Mm.
advice could you give to them?
I'll just say, be prepared to work on it every day, and make sure you look in the mirror and you absolutely are sure that it is so much more than you'll ever know and you'll ever think that it's gonna be. And you have to love it at the deepest part of you and have that commitment to work on your craft every day and connect to music in the way that you can in your own special, unique way. And you have to figure that out and try a lot of things that aren't going to work to find that one special thing that makes you you.
I like how you had to take a big deep sigh because I know, okay, here's the honesty coming out. And that's just amazing advice. I'm sure that anybody who's listening right now would be so thankful for your honesty. And thank you so much. I like that, John Kay. So his latest album, Love and Everything Else, is out now. Stream it all day around. We're adding singles to our playlist as well. John, thank you so much for taking the time to virtually meet with me. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. You're incredible. Incredible. I appreciate you having me on. Thank you, Zoe.
All right,
This
stay
this
safe and
interview, I
healthy.
get sugar interview.
Sugar. Nice, nice. First interview of the year, Sugar. All right, stay safe and healthy, John, and everyone else. My name is Zoe. Have courage and be kind, folks. It's a brand new year. This is today's best music, Magic 89.9.